And we're live.
Good evening, everybody.
We're fresh back from No Name Nationals. And if you weren't there, you missed out.
I think we're safe to say we're both still tired.
I'm exhausted. And my pocketbook is empty. But if you guys haven't seen it, my video is coming out probably within the weekend, maybe first of next week. But my video went out for the trip to No Name Nationals, but I haven't posted the one at No Name Nationals. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what happened while we were there because, I don't know, it was just an awesome event.
It was, definitely. I broke my car and you resurrected yours.
Yeah, mine wasn't fixed to break, so there you go.
We went in opposite directions, my guy.
Yeah, but both of them are going to be pretty awesome when they're done. Yeah. Speaking of awesome, you got an award behind you.
Yes, sir. People's Choice Awards. Evidently, other people thought my car was cool too.
So you putting the vinyl lettering, that livery on the car was just that was just the cream on top. It was just perfect, and obviously everybody else thought so too.
So yeah, I got a lot of questions about that. Everybody thought it was a road race car, which is cool because that's kind of the look I was going for. So I'm glad they seen it. So yeah, and on my way home, man, people was always like, "Man, where you been racing at? Do you road race it? Is that a NASCAR?" What? I was like, it's just a street car with some stickers on it.
That's better. That's better than what they said about me. They said, "Oh, did you pull this out of the junkyard, or is this a burnout car?" Nobody really knew what it was. Everybody liked it and they wanted to see it, but nobody really knew what was going on with it. And I think that was pretty much the theme the whole weekend. They're like, "Wait, are you going to race this, or what are you going to do?" And I'm like, "No, we're just looking at it. We're not doing anything with it." Let's see who's in the chat. We've got Hunter from Sand Mountain Ballistics. 323 Fabrication. We got Mongrel's Garage. DS. I wonder who that is. We got Lars in the chat. Blake from Bad Tree Productions. John Wilburn. Colleen Tebow. Man. Jeff from Two Hacks. And they're just pouring in. So I got to tell you, No Name Nationals was like nothing else I have ever done. I mean, I have been to races before, NHRA, NASCAR. I've been, dirt track racing, motorcycles, all kinds of stuff. But I always felt like you may know one or two people there, but you're just there to do your thing and then go home. Where this felt like it was a family reunion, and I think somebody else said it, but it was like a family reunion where a drag race broke out. I mean, that's really what happened. We all just happened to be there with cars, and there happened to be a track there, so hey, let's go.
It was wild, man. And I felt like I knew everybody. That was what was really cool. Like I walked around the pits, and I think I tried to talk to everybody. I'm sure I missed some people. I'm sorry if I did, but and I recognized just about everybody. So, and it did help.
That was what was cool. Is you drive through the gates, right? You drive through those gates, and you're expecting to not know anybody, right? And that's just the normal feeling when you go someplace new. And yet we go there and we know everybody, pretty much everybody there. It was crazy. But speaking of, I want to introduce our guest. This gentleman, I was hanging out at No Name Nationals and they started making these call outs for people to drive their cars out to the track for this group photo. Also, coolest thing I've ever seen at any race is everybody goes out the track to take a photo. That just doesn't happen. And anyway, I'm just kind of, kicking the rocks in the pavement and holding my head down in shame because everybody else is driving away. And this gentleman walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, our numbers are pretty close together. You want me to pull you out there?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" He was willing to hook up a log chain and yank me out on the track. And instant best friends right then and there. This guy is awesome. So without further ado, hold on. I got to make sure I do it correctly. We have
don't do what I did and kill
Chris
everything.
from 323 Fabrication.
What's going on, everybody?
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Do you see a picture?
I see a picture.
Let's try
I
it
see
again.
his name.
I see dark on my phone. I see me on the computer.
Weird.
No.
Well,
we're having technical difficulties.
Can y'all hear me?
yeah. I can hear you. Just can't see you.
Yeah.
You got to turn your lights on, Chris.
Oh, I spent all my money on the race and not the power bill.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't see you.
Well, I see me on the computer and not the phone. I'm guessing the phone's what everybody else sees.
Yeah,
all we
I'm
see is
looking
black.
at YouTube, but I don't see it.
You think it's my end? Let's see here.
Possibly.
Still nothing. Let's see. Oh,
No, you came and went.
I'm not real good with computers.
Yeah, it makes two of us.
All right. You might try cutting loose and then trying to come back in, reload it, and see if that works.
All right.
StreamYard's pretty finicky sometimes.
So we had a few new people
you
sleep.
Can come back in, see if that works.
So it looks like Outfits Garage and
coming
Leighton
in?
Motorsports snuck in on us. JB.
Awesome. Leighton was so helpful having that welding truck there.
Oh, yeah. Really good guy.
Outfits, yep, those guys. Fastest dirt track car on the drag strip.
I'm not going to lie, dude. That was the coolest thing ever to see a dirt track car. Hey.
Am I there? Can you see me?
Hey, I see you. See?
Hey.
Yep. You're fixed.
Awesome.
Now,
How's
does
everybody
everybody
doing?
recognize Chris? They've got her. We're doing good.
Sweet.
How are you doing?
Exciting. I'm fantastic. Wide open. Still daily in the dually because I'm gonna assume that small burnout that I did increased the water leak I had, and so I had to pull the pump off the front of the 5.3 and the S10, and I just haven't gotten it back together yet.
So is the 4L60 still alive?
I would go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so day 2, got a couple of test passes in, and I finally got it to shift, and we run like a 8.7 flat. It did shift, but I had to get off the button on the 2.3 shift so it would do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's there. It probably needs to be serviced.
Yeah.
But,
Man, if you did a 2-day event like that, and
Well,
your
I just want to
4L60
say,
still alive.
yeah, because you went out and drag race, you did the burnout, and you towed my car. I mean, that's pretty good day right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It was a blast. I 100% agree with y'all. It was like, you come in and everybody's helping everybody, walk around. I didn't meet a stranger at all, and people that watch my channel. And I mean, it was awesome. An awesome event. 110% will be there next year. I would do it twice a year if y'all wanted to host it. You know what I mean? 100%. Great time.
Oh, yeah. I think there's been a lot of people that have said, and I recognize the limitations, but I feel like a lot of people have said we could do 2 events a year, one in spring, one in fall. Yes. I mean, it just takes time and money, right? But right. For sure, it was a blast. I could go to no other event and be happy just going to that event twice a year.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I saw Shopcat come in.
Wendy English came in.
Let's see who else got in here.
One-eyed.
Yep, Jason's Garage is in here. I met him.
Oh, we got Leighton.
Yeah,
Leighton's a cool dude. He had the welder in his truck.
Yep.
Arrowhead Garage is here.
Awesome.
Well, we got Dakota's
Yeah, Jason's Garage walks up to me. So go ahead, Jason's Garage walks up to me, and he's got his sunglasses on, and he was like, "Hey, it's Jason." Like, no, I know who you are. I'm just tired and overwhelmed. It's like, that's just it. You recognize everybody. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I missed out on that, and Wilburn's going to help me out. He's going to show me where I can get one.
Oh, yeah. One-eyed cat is Dawn English.
All right, so
gotcha.
The main goal here. That makes sense. So, Chris, tell us about your Pontiac.
All right. So we've actually got, I would say, 3 2/3 of one. All of them are GTOs. They're all 24237, VIN plate GTOs. They're all real. One of them has donated, the tags to turn a Le Mans into a goat. But the driver's rear frame rail still has the right numbers on it, so it was a GTO. But the good car, right? So that's what this is about. We got one good car. It's a 69.
Hold on. Let me do something here. Wait, dang it. It's my computer lagging.
Okay. Is
that the good car?
I cannot see it.
Is that the good car?
There you go.
That is the good car.
Yeah, I just wanted to show it off. I did get a screen capture from YouTube.
I like it.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's me and my dad. We wrench together on the channel. I definitely couldn't do it without him. He's a lot of help. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's old school hot rodder. He was, he got his driver's license when all that stuff was still new. So he's got a lot of old school knowledge that really helps out. But that is the good car.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm missing out on.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm thankful for it for sure. The car.
And what year is that one?
It's a 69. We've got a 69, 2/3 of a 69, and 2 68s. But that is a 69. Little background on the car. So at work, I'm the car guy, like all the time. Anybody, has questions or needs help or just. I'm the car guy. We've got the S10, obviously. I've got a 64 Chevy 2-gasser that I drove to work. It's a street car. And then got the GOAT. And so, word spreads at work, right? People get to know you as a car guy. And someone mentioned like, hey,
yep.
did you know Gentleman's name's Kip, super awesome guy. He's one of our machinists. They were like, "Hey, do you know Kip's got a bunch of GTOs?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know that." So, of course, I drop everything I'm doing and go ask Kip about his GTOs, and we get to talking. And he's like, "Yeah, man, they're just sitting. I think I'm gonna get rid of them." So, turns out, Kip had 3 2/3 of a GTO. One of the cars I have didn't come from Kip. I bought it for parts. One of the cars he had, I did not buy. And, I kicked that around a little bit, whether that was a move or not, because it was a real Judge. It was a 1C, third week of January, 69 Judge, which is obviously a very desirable car. It was very rough. B pillars back. It was pretty much gone. Was not numbers matching, and it was more than twice what I paid for my car. But they were both in a barn together. If y'all go check the channel out, there's my best video on the channel. It's got like 57,000 views. Is the barn find video with both the cars still in the barn.
I have watched it several times.
Wow, that's awesome.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely been a blast. The car's come a long way. It's currently a roller again. It wasn't a roller for a while. Everything we touch, we're trying to, clean and paint, and, rebuild or either just freshen up. Unfortunately, the block was cracked in several places, and that's kind of where the trail to no names ended for the GTO, because that put us so much farther behind. It's a 400 automatic AC car, cruise control, power steering, power brakes, power windows, lots of cool options. It was a very expensive car when it was new. It was almost $4,800, and so it's cool. I mean, the GTO, people have different opinions, but it's the first muscle car. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
And I am 100% into American muscle cars. I'm not really biased when it comes to brands. I would love to be, back in the 80s price wise, but that doesn't exist anymore. So, I try to get a little bit of all of it if I can afford to.
That's awesome, man. That's what found me your channel. Was I was scrolling through and I was like, "Oh, Barn Find GTO. Here we go. This is right up my alley, man." So then I started watching.
I'm glad you like it. I'm just glad I can put it back on the road.
I want to.
Go ahead.
I want to say that having an LS S10 was cool enough as it is, and then to find out you also are a Pontiac GTO guy, it's like, okay, all right, he just went up a few notches.
Okay, let me throw a story in here that I think y'all will enjoy. So I'm 29, right? The days of these cars being on the road and all that, and folks being able to afford them is kind of, if I say afford them, muscle cars are outrageous if they're nice, right? And having one that you can drive and enjoy, to me, it's all about driving it and enjoying it. It doesn't have to be perfect. David Freiberger said, "Don't get it right, just get it running," and I'm all about that. So that's the thing about this car, is putting it back on the road. But what makes this car more special to me, being a Pontiac, right? It's sort of black. It's several colors, but it's mostly black. It's got a 400 in it. The first muscle car I ever drove, all right, I was in 8th grade. My best friend's dad left him a 69 Firebird. Now, it was a black convertible, white top, white interior, 400 4-speed car. That's the first muscle car I ever drove. And so to be able to get in the same year Pontiac, it's got a 400 in it. Now, obviously, my car's an automatic. I started, one of the parts cars is a 4-speed. I started to do a 4-speed swap on it, but the gasser's a 4-speed, and having something just be able to get in it, throw it and drive and just cruise, that sounded pretty appealing. So But that's what makes the car special to me. And if y'all want to Google or YouTube a guy named Jordan Fletcher, he's got a song called 1969 Firebird, and it's about that very car. He's a singer-songwriter in Nashville. We were best friends in middle school. Super cool guy. The song's really good, though. Y'all should check it out.
Oh. Well,
Sorry,
I don't have a
internet.
GTO, but I am kind of partial to black cars. I'll just tell you.
I could see that. I got a green one I can hook you up with.
If I come home with anything else right now, I'll probably be sleeping in the garage. So I'm not going to press my luck right now. I tried to buy a Fiero today, and that did not go over well.
You could do the last generation Monte Carlo SSs or aluminum 5.3 LS front wheel drive. That'd make a sweet carriage to bolt in the back of a Fiero.
It actually came with an LS4.
Okay.
It's an 88 Fiero GT with an LS4 for $2,800. So.
Oh man, everybody needs one of those.
The problem is it's about a 6-hour drive one way, and I'm like, yeah, I just tired of driving. So
I understand. How far was y'all's trek for No Name?
Buff was a lot further than me. How far was you, Buff?
Google Maps said I was 6 hours, 45 minutes. However, it took me closer to 12 hours each time. Actually, the second time was more like 10 hours.
I'm just going to say, if it wasn't for changing trailer tires, you probably could have made that a little quicker.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you take the very well-used trailer that's completely untested and you drive it clear across the state of Missouri on tires that are guaranteed to blow. And, 3 out of 4 did. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we discussed that last tire that blew, though, before you left. The one that had the tread half off of it already.
And the tire itself, the tire itself did not blow. It simply lost its tread.
Well, at least there's that.
So that counts. Yeah.
It was like a 4.5 hour drive for me, but it took us like 5.5 hours because I had to stop. When you get my age, you got to stop like every 150 miles and get out of the car.
I think
that's better than Dalton and his gang. It was like every 60 or 80 miles we were stopping.
Dude, the Holy Goat is awesome, but like I can imagine a long road trip in that thing is not a bundle of joy.
Okay, so he left the No Name Nationals and drove it like another 1,000 miles to the it Ford Fest or whatever, the Holly Ford Fest with JD's car.
Yep.
He's more of a man than me.
Yeah, they gave him a free something or other. Yeah, him and his brother took turns swapping out driving the goat.
Yeah, I would imagine it's basically riding a 4-wheeler with a chair on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask. You both have Pontiacs, and they both have LSs in them. How rough was it when that began, coming from all the diehard Pontiac folks?
Let's just say if I go to a Pontiac event, I have to park back in the back 40 because I am not allowed to. And like if I go to a car show and I pop the hood on my car, people will walk up and they'll be like, "Oh, it's another LS." I'm like, "Yep."
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters, and that's okay. And I think the big thing that I wanted to make sure people understood was I didn't pull a Pontiac engine and transmission out. There was never one in there. So to say that, I was taking out the original Pontiac to put something else in was just not true. It never was there since that guy ever had it. He said it came without an engine, and when he got it 40 years ago. So for me, it was, I want to put something in it and what is available to me. And I searched and searched and searched so that I didn't just drop an LS in it. But at the end of the day, I dropped an LS in it. And it's loud and it's peppy and it eventually will run really well.
Yeah, LS is a very solid platform. There's no denying that at all. When I look at the S10, I beat on it every day I drive it. That burnout was almost 2 minutes long, and when I shut it off, the engine coolant temp was 300 degrees. It reads 280, and it was past that on the peg. It was 300 degrees. Fired right up, beat on it the next day, run the best pass it's ever run, like best ET it's ever run. So LS is really solid stuff. The good GTO. I have to name this car too, by the way. I haven't figured that out. But the good car has a 400 in it, a 74, so not numbers matching. As far as I know, the trans isn't numbers matching. And the car came with a 323 safety track, and that had already been stolen. It had a 256 open diff in it. So nothing in my car's numbers matching. But the fact that I even hinted at an LS just a little bit, man, the hate mail rolled in like it was going out of style. I'm telling y'all, it was intense there for a little bit, especially on that first video.
I'm just going to tell you that if my car had a Pontiac engine in it and I posted it on Pontiac pages on Facebook, everybody would love it. But here's the funny thing. My car was numbers matching when I bought it. But it had a tired 350 Pontiac with a 2-barrel, and it was gutless. And I was like, I'm not going to. I tried to find a 400, tried to find a 455. People wanted $1,000 for just a block, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So Turbo LS it is, and I'm not sorry one bit I did it.
Oh man, I don't blame you at all. The block I picked up to replace the motor, the block that was in the car because it was cracked, is also a 74 400. The guy I bought it from had a 69 GTO stamp, date correct. It obviously wasn't the same VIN number, but 69 block. And it was going to have to go at least 30 to clean it up. And he wanted twice the money. And it was just a block. And it wasn't 4-bolt main. And I'm like, and then you start getting into heads and what makes power on the Pontiac. And the time I get done with this motor, a 5.3 with a cam swap is going to make the same power and get twice the fuel mileage.
If my car would have had a 400 in it, I would have left it. I mean, I've had Trans Ams and a bunch of other Pontiacs. I've had plenty of Pontiacs. It's not that I didn't want a Pontiac, it's just I couldn't find a deal on one. And I'm not sorry I did it. And my car's just a Le Mans at the end of the day. It's not a GTO. And everything I done is bolt in. I could literally put a Pontiac engine in that car in one weekend.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll be honest with you. I'm still not 100% I'd have gone LS if I'd have known I was going to have to spend this much and go through all this trouble to keep it Pontiac. But the fact that, at the end of the day, it's going to be a Pontiac powered goat. I'm still excited about that. I did order a pretty decent sized comp cam to go in it. I'm not sure. I mean, y'all, if you've done the 400s before, what's a 74 going to have compression wise? Is it going to be like a 9-to-1 motor? because I don't really know. As far as I know, I tore apart a stock motor.
Yeah. Well, what heads is on it? Is it 6X?
4X.
4X. So the 4X heads are the better heads, obviously, but still, it's probably a dish piston motor being a 74. I mean, you throw some flat tops in there. Depending on what valves is in those heads, they'll still run pretty good. I mean, it'll make an easy 500 foot-pounds with that. So
it's the small valve heads. I don't know how much difference it makes. They're it's not the 211 intakes. It's the other ones, whatever they are. But I'm looking forward to the torque because I'm doing a Transgo valve body reprogramming kit in the 400. This is my first automatic rebuild. Never rebuilt an automatic before, and the only thing good on the one that came out of the car was the case and the pan. Everything else, it had set with water in it in the barn for 20 years. So everything else was rusted absolutely together. None of it was savable. So I bought another 400 out of a big block Chevelle, and I'm putting all the guts, the 8-bolt pump and everything in the case that came out of the GTO. But the Transgo reprogramming kit, when you can put it in drive and it'll do drive, but when you pull it down in one or shift it manually, it will hold the gear no matter what speed you're going. So you can tear something up, but I figured that 308 gear that I welded and swapped the rear end in it, I figure it might do some pretty tasty second gear burnouts.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you ever checked out that GTO that is on Two Hacks Garage page, that green one. That thing's pretty nasty. It's definitely not stock though, but you can't beat the sound of a Pontiac. You just can't. High compression, big cam, man, they sound so good.
Yeah, I think what I need to do is get a set of pistons for it. Now that I'm not in a hurry, I figured maybe I need to just slow down a little bit, save some money up, and do it right the first time. Because I really hate to put a fresh motor together and it have like 8 3/4 to 1 compression. Just be a dog. But
Outfits, have a good night. I think Hunter from Sand Mountain is really not happy about this LS in the Pontiac thing. So Hunter, if you want to send me a 400 or 455, I will swap it for you. And I'll put my turbo LS in something else. No, I won't. I'm just joking. I can't do that.
Have you got any ideas on the trans yet?
Man, I've been on the phone with like the people who has a Tremec. They have the TKX 5-speed. I'm looking at like $4,500 for that. One option is the Nissan CD009 transmission. It's a 6-speed, comes in the 350, 370Zs. I'm actually thinking about that option. I can do that for around $1,400. And there's a lot of guys with 1,000+ horsepower Nissans doing it. So now there's no torque there, but you know. Hey, look at that. We got Austin from LaCour Racing in the house.
All right. Dude, that Le Mans.
LaCour's here?
Yeah. You want to talk about a nasty Pontiac?
Yeah,
he's got a nasty
sir.
Pontiac.
Yes, sir. That thing sounds good. And it is torquey. They're not coming after me.
Apparently upset the police.
Buff, are you all right, buddy? Your wife called the cops on you?
No, she's at work. Just close the door.
B&R.
It's not my garage burning down.
I don't really know what the torque capacity is on that CD transmission. I can't, like I said, I haven't found nothing about that. So the Nissans make 1,000 horsepower, but they probably got like 600 foot-pounds of torque. So who knows? I mean, I don't know. It's up in the air right now. I've even checked into putting like a 400 turbo in it. Geez, I just really don't want to go back to an automatic after having a manual in it. It's so much fun to drive.
Yeah, I'm a stick guy. I love stick cars. All my F bodies have been 6 speeds. I did a 5-speed swap in my Z28 I had in high school. The Gasser's got a Muncie in it, and I've got a spare Muncie, and I almost did that with the Goat, but I like the idea of the turbo 400 with it. I've never had anything with a decent converter in it. I've got like a 3200 B&M to go in it. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to have an automatic car too.
ASO, I would, but people want like $2,000 for a worn out T56 out of a Firebird or a GTO. That's what I'm running into. The TR6060 would be my first bet if I can find a good one. The problem is they're so big I have to cut my whole transmission tunnel out. And since I just did all my interior, I really don't want to do that. So I don't really know what I'm going to do right now. It's going to live on jack stands for probably a couple months. I can tell you that much right now. If I could find another AR 5-speed cheap, I'll buy it and put it in there just so I can drive it again. But, it is what it is. I had a blast.
Man, I did too. Absolutely. It was a good time. It was great meeting everybody and hanging out. Honestly, I don't think I shot as much footage as I should have just because I spent so much time hanging out with everyone. I was just enjoying myself.
I know I didn't. I did a last-minute walker out taking video. I was like, crap, I better, because my wife asked me, she's like, have you taken any video yet? I was like, no, because I had told her, I was like, I'm going to live stream while I'm there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I didn't do none of it. I just spent a lot of time talking to everybody. It was great.
Yeah, it was. It was a good time. All right. Question for y'all. How you feel about, you've seen the car, right? You've seen the Goat, all the multicolors. I'm going to try to sand some more of the black off and knock some of the rough surface rust down. What do y'all think? I think I'm just going to clear coat it.
Do it. It's
That's
nothing
what I would do.
It's nothing that can't be reversed later if you don't like it.
Yeah. That's that. Have you seen the Poppy's patina, the wipe on clear coat?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the route I'm gonna go. And as time allows, I'll eventually patch everything and actually finish the car, because it does have some air conditioning holes in it, but it's not too bad.
Does it have as many air conditioning?
I might have a few of
the
those.
Holy Goat?
No, it isn't. It's not quite that bad. It's not quite that bad. It's a decent builder car, honestly. It really is a decent car to build. And I'm gonna put front quarter pans in it. I went ahead. I've already got those because it was Fred Flintstone 100%. The front of the floor was gone, but and actually, speaking of the front of the floor, the tunnel. I'm gonna do a his and her shifter in the car. That wasn't an option in '69. It was an option in '68. But that's really, to me, I always thought that was really cool. The gated shifter, and I actually bought one from Dalton. He had one. So.
Yeah, so that transmission came out of a Chevy Colorado. It's the AR 5-speed. There's a lot of guys that's had a lot of luck putting a lot of power to them. A lot of drift guys use them. I don't know. Maybe I just got a bad one, or maybe my shift was a little more than it should have been. Here's the thing. I am blaming it on Nacho Cuda. If I would have got lined up against anybody else except Bad Tree and his Nacho Cuda, I wouldn't have drove it like that, and I wouldn't have broke it. So it's his fault. I'm gonna write a book on how Nacho Cuda ruined my car. I'm just joking, Blake. It's funny. Yeah, that Cuda is pretty legit, though. I would like to say next year we better have a little more showing of Pontiacs or GM and at all, because we was like completely outnumbered by all those Mopars.
Dude, I was surprised. There was a lot of Mopars. But I'm gonna do like Buff. If the goat's not ready next year, I'm gonna bring it. You know what I mean? If it's not running, I'll bring it and thrash in the parking lot. Because I got to tell you, dude, that was epic. That was epic.
I think Buff's having some.
Never give up.
Buff's having some transmission or video problems, I think. So we're doing sign language here now.
Yep. Yep. I feel like my internet connection is really slow and it's really expensive, so it shouldn't be.
Watching. Let's see.
They know you put an LS in your car, so they're clocking your internet down. They're probably Pontiac Furious guys.
100%.
Well, let's see here.
NSB says Mopar to the front. But it was like a 8-1 odds there. So, I mean, the odds of Mopar being in the front was pretty good.
There weren't a lot of Fords either. There's a couple.
Dr. Art had a Ford there. He just showed up. Of course, it had a turbo LS in it, but, you know, that's how you make Fords fast on race day. Who was it? There was a Ford Explorer there. And that 21 Mustang actually surprised me. I think was that Mongrel's Garage it was racing that? It was 402 big blocks.
Yeah, it was big block 402's car. But I think you said Mongrels was racing it?
I think so. I think that's who was racing it.
That car was consistent.
He went round for round for round with that thing. I was like, yeah. Of course, you know, you do have a new car with traction control and, you know, all that stuff. Oh, Buff, your internet connection just got better, buddy.
Woohoo! Apparently, I made the cops happier.
You just like all of a sudden went from fuzzy to real clear.
I've been working on it in the background. All right. Who's ready for trivia?
Oh, everybody's ready for trivia.
Well, let's hit it. We get to be all in the corner. All right. So once again, thanks to Super Clean, this is the second show in a row that is Super Clean has sponsored our show. And tonight's winner of our Super Clean gift pack will be our guest, Chris from 323 Fabrication. Woo-hoo. I figure if we can do nothing else, we can bribe people to come on the show.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, guys. I've enjoyed this.
This is awesome. So I threw together some basic Pontiac trivia, kind of centered around what we're talking about tonight. So feel free to call me out in the chat. That's what you guys love to do. You like to tell me that I'm wrong or tell me that it doesn't count because it's concepts or whatever. But put it in the chat. I want to see you guys answer up. And yeah, let's hit number one. This is for you true, die-hard Pontiac junkies. If you know this, I'll be impressed. So, how many paint coat options were available for the 1969 GTO? Is it A, 6, B, 12, C, 21, or D, 28? Ooh, already got answers. Wow, look at that.
Dr. Art says 12. I don't think that's an option, buddy. Oh, I guess it is.
B is 12, yeah.
Never mind.
All right, Chris, you're our guest. You have a 69. Tell me, what do you think?
Ooh. Y'all are going to show where I don't know my stuff here.
That's all right. Just going to say Dalton would get it, so.
Oh.
I'm going to go with B.
All right. So
I'm
let's
see. I'm going to go with
see.
B also.
We got A, Mongrel's Garage. ASO's got B. Dr. Art's got B. Colleen says A. Dakota's Time In says A. BNR says C. Then he says it's a guess. Dylan says B. Blake Lambert says B. Danny Boyd. I didn't get to say hello earlier, so hello, Danny Boyd.
Y'all, I got to shout out Blake. That's my boy.
Let's see. All right. And he has all the paint. You have all colors on your car. All right, Lucor's bowing out. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. We appreciate you coming in.
Hey, I'm going to get a hold of you sometime next week, early next week there, Austin.
All right. So Nathan says C. Let's see what the answer is. Believe it or not, it is C. 21 different paint codes, including the Starlight Black, Warwick Blue Poly, Goldenrod Yellow, and the ever-popular Carousel Red, which they're all just Carousel Red now, except yours, right?
I have a Carousel Red 69 Judge Wing, so that's got to count for something.
There you go. Throw that on there. You'll have every paint code on one car.
Yeah, it's Verdoro Green. Let's see. It is Crystal Turquoise Poly. It is for I don't know. I've got quite a few colors. I actually think the door is gold, the driver's door.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I just, you know what I got. I just like it the way it is. I don't even want to mess with it. I loved finding the original color for mine, but in 63, it has 3 different names for the exact same color, and the paint code is 3 different paint codes, but they're all the same color. They just have 3 different names and 3 different codes. So I don't know what that means, but anyway, for the GTO, they had 21.
Right on. You want to know something?
Yes.
That I learned? So Carousel Red is the infamous Chevrolet Hugger Orange. It was just renamed for Pontiac.
They talk about that later whenever they did a certain car for 2-lane blacktop. It's an orange. It's not Carousel Red. All right, number 2. Let's see. All right, in 1969, you just ordered your brand new Pontiac GTO. What is the UPC code signifying a safeguard speedometer? You have your sheet in front of you.
I have a sheet in front of me. Probably not the right one.
All right. Is it A, G80, B, U15, C, M21, or D, W53? If you're a GM fan and you don't know what G80 is, I'm just going to call you out right now.
How about M21? You don't know what that is.
I was going to say, I know it's not 2 of them. So
yeah. All right. We've already got them going. Dylan says it's B. Dakota says D. Danny Boyd says it's B. Hunter says D. ASO says it's the M21. Dr. Art says it's G80. Nathan's Mopar Garage says it's M21. BNR says it's U15. Blake says it's the M21. And Danny Boyd says, wait, isn't the M21 the transmission? Isn't the clock use something? See, this is how fun this really is. And I don't try to get this in depth on the trivia, but some of these guys know what it is. And this is proving that right now. So let's just get to it. It is the U15. The answer is B. So among all the options available to have your speed reminder, which is that extra little, needle on your gauge that's hardwired into a buzzer on your car, you had to add option U15. And that's taken right out of the 1969 Pontiac options manual. That's a cool manual.
So that $15.80 option in 1969, if you had that speedometer, it's probably worth about $1,000 now.
So my 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix has that speedometer, and a used one on eBay is worth $250 at the lowest. So I can get my money back on my car pretty quick. Danny Boyd, it depended on who made it. This particular 1969 Pontiac called it the Safeguard speedometer.
Hey, Big Block 402 snuck in here.
Yep, the old candy cane murderer right there.
Man.
But man, what a ride. I'm so glad I got to ride in it before it blew up.
I'll tell you, his truck is very cool because I posted a little 8-second video and I have a whole lot of views on that short.
Yeah, and you didn't even show the genuine vinyl alligator seat.
No.
I got to sit in it. It was awesome.
All
right.
Holy goat.
All right, Pontiac fellers and fellettes. Isn't that how he says it?
All right.
What is the name?
Fellettes.
Yeah, that's right. What's the name of the revolutionary bumper introduced by Pontiac in 1968, but also carried over to 69 for the GTO? Was it called A, the Space Saver, B, the Safety Bumper, C, the Safeguard, or D, the Endura? Oh my gosh. Was this even a... This wasn't even an effort like everybody's.
This must not have been a hard question there, buddy.
Sorry, I felt like a lot of people didn't know.
Oh, this hurts.
This is a brand new 1968 Pontiac GTO. It's been beautifully restyled from bumper to bumper.
Oh.
Look at it.
I'd like to hit that guy.
And then he just walks away.
This is a brand new 1968 Pontiac GTO. It has a new bumper. It's the most revolutionary new bumper since bumpers.
He's breathing awful hard.
Seems like everything those Pontiac engineers touch turns to great.
Now it needs a repaint.
I thought you guys would like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Blake Lambert said, bro, that's Whistling Diesel's grandpa.
I'm like great grandpa.
That's
but
awesome.
yes, you guys all got it. It was apparently not that hard of a question. It's the Endura bumper. I know there's people out there that aren't Pontiac people that would have never guessed it. So thank you all for playing that one. So here's a good one. How much was the option, the L67 option, to make the 1969 GTO one of the most powerful GTOs ever? Was it A, $558? Was it B, $654? Was it C, $799? Or D, $836?
I don't know, but I'm going to throw a C out there.
All right, we got one C. Danny Boyd's got a B. Dakota's 836. He's D. BNR says A. Colleen says C. Wow, this is just all over the place.
I'm going to go with D.
All right. Let's
Yeah,
see.
we are definitely all over the place. There's everybody's.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because, inflation. Does everybody know what L67 is? Do you got a guess?
It's the Ram Air 3
Ram Air 4.
400 or Ram Air 4. Yeah.
Yeah. It is $558. The A, the most powerful production GTO 6970 model option Ram Air 4 400 cubic inch V8, 370 horsepower at 5,500 RPM. So, do you got the Ram Air 4, Chris?
No, I do not.
I'm just going to say that $558 option is worth a freaking crap ton of money right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the same thing like the Judge option, man. The Judge was a stripper car, but it's it was a affordable sport, the hot rod version,
right? But it had too many options.
Comfort stuff. Yeah,
but it ended up having too many options. Kind of made it a show queen.
Yeah, it was designed to be a competitor, a factory competitor to the Roadrunner, which was a base model, no comfort features, but 383 4-speed, Roadrunner, where the Judge was supposed to be an answer to that, and turned out to be, one of the most desirable
luxury car.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. I haven't even asked the question these guys are answering. This is awesome. So the original TV commercial for the Judge featured what rock band? Was it A, Paul Revere and the Raiders, B, Led Zeppelin, C, Creedence Clearwater Revival, or D, The Beatles?
I thought it was Chrysler Clearwater Revival.
Only on YouTube. Look at Pole Barn Garage jumping in.
Whoa.
Old Dalton.
I knew he'd know the answer. All right, so let me go back and look here. Danny Boyd says it's Paul Revere. BNR, Paul Revere. Dr. Art says Led Zeppelin. Dylan says Creedence. Dakota says Creedence. Mongrel says Paul Revere. ASO says Led Zeppelin. Colleen wants to know how I get the banner to run along the bottom during live. Well, I just go over here, this little tab on my StreamYard, and hit banners and hit the button, and it goes right across. Sorry to simplify it, but that's how I do it. I can also do this one. Look at that.
Buff's one of those technological guys.
Well, only when my internet works.
I can barely check my email. I'm not.
All right. So Blake says, Chris, you know this one.
Oh, man. Put me on the spot. I'll be honest with you, I want to say it's A, but I wouldn't put any money on it.
We can get demonetized real quick.
To pass judgment on a special call from Pontiac. All rise for the judge.
Judge, the special great one from Pontiac GTO. First speed shifter, 3-speeder 4. Pontiac Ram Air 366 horse.
Now can you guess?
Wheel,
Yeah.
60-inch spoiler airfoil. Judge will rule. Judge, the special great one from Pontiac GTO. Pontiac Ram Air 400 cubes for action.
I love it. That's great.
Mag-type polyglass shoes for traction. The judge will rule.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Breakaway. Back in Pontiac.
So it was, where'd we go here? It was Paul Revere and the Raiders. Because the lead singer, Mark Lindsay, was a car guy. He loved the Judge so much that he wrote a song about it. And they claim that commercial is considered one of the earliest rock music videos, which we don't really do those anymore, I guess. Let's see. That may be it, fellers. That's all I got for trivia tonight.
Awesome. Good job.
Look at
buddy.
that. Wow. So many people got a lot of that right. And I thought a few of them were going to throw them for a loop. But my Pontiac people are much more knowledgeable than I gave them credit. So I apologize. Let's see. Who'd we have jump in here? We've got, of course, Pole Barn. We've got Buzz from Roadkill Customs jumping in. Let's see. Tim Mopar. You can't have Mopar without Tim. I think that's about it. What else you got for us, Chris? Oh man.
Look at that.
Look, hang on. Let me see. Where's that? There's the options. Look at that. Is that nuts?
Yep.
That's a lot of money in 1969.
It
And you
sure
can still get
is.
that out of it.
Yeah, I'd imagine I could, maybe. I don't know.
You could at least get that.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever sell that car. That car is kind of what started the channel. Like, really, I had been posting for a while, but not consistently and not really growing. And I mean, man, the goats blew it up. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
for
that's
sure.
what happened to Dalton too.
Yep.
Pontiacs, man, they make the channel. What can I say?
Nothing against Ford, nothing against Mopar, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like a Pontiac to stir up a channel, because it more than doubled my subscribers when I added a Pontiac to my fleet. I already had one, but it was in the corner. Nobody knew it was there. But
I can't say nothing because I started my channel with my Pontiac. So
I wouldn't have guessed that with your channel name.
yeah, I've actually kicked around the idea of changing the name of my channel, but I don't know what I would do, and I'm afraid
Everybody knows where to find you now.
I know.
I changed mine. It was, I think it was the right move though, because it was a mouthful before.
I'm sure. I think it's perfect now. Can't miss it. You know exactly who it is. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for tonight. I want to thank Chris for jumping in, and once again, Punisher for hosting on his channel tonight. Thank you, everybody, for the live chat, and obviously, thank you, Super Clean, for sponsoring the show. And Chris will be sending you out a Super Clean gift pack. And thanks for joining us.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all having me. It's been a blast. This is really cool.
All right. Well, don't think we won't come back to you again. We want to see more of your Pontiac. Guys, head on over to Chris at 323 Fabrication on his YouTube channel. Sub that. Give him a watch and see what you think. And as always, we appreciate every one of you for joining in. So with that, we're going to head on out.
Later, guys. Have a good night.
Appreciate it, y'all.